I'm really excited to be going live with very chic Sarah Bray. She's a former style writer at Town and Country magazine, and she just moved to Bermuda with her fiancé, where together they are renovating an 110-year-old house. She gives us a little sneak peek as well as shows us her new brand of sun hats she's just launched. So have fun and enjoy watching.
Hey!
Hello, you are so good at this. You were quick.
Oh my gosh, I know it's so funny when people have to wait around for a long time to join. So I was like, okay, I'm ready.
And then sort of like making small talk before everything starts. But look at you in that beautiful hat in Bermuda.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of windy out here. So, but yeah, got my hat on that I'm frantically working on with my tiny team in Texas to get these shipped out this summer. But it's crazy because of COVID and everything. So many people are backed up and obviously have been staying home, and the supplies, like shipping. So it is quite the process, but obviously, so many people are, suffering right now and trying to do their best.
Well, I want to get to your hats, but first I want to start. Your story is so inspiring. I'm really excited to talk to you about it because you started, born and raised in Texas, moved to New York City, style writer for Town and Country, Harper's Bazaar, Veranda. I mean, you name it, you were writing for them. And then you moved to Bermuda. How is this change for you?
I mean, it's been crazy. I mean, as you know, New York City is such like a fast-paced life, and it's so addictive. And being a journalist and like in media, as like you're aware, is like fun. There's always something to do every single night in New York City, and giving it up was hard, but I was so ready. I'm gonna put my sunglasses on because it actually is super sunny. But I was so ready for a change, and even before I met my fiance on Bumble, I was like thinking like, oh my gosh, should I move to Europe? Like, should I move to Florida? Like, should I move to a random place halfway across the world? So when I met him, I was like, well, let's go do something crazy.
Is that where he's from?
Yeah, so he is fifth generation Bermudian. So he spent his childhood in Bermuda, but then he went to school in the States and then was working in the States, and you only moved back to Bermuda just before basically I decided to move here too. So
well, hey, it's not a bad place to be.
Yeah. Oh my
God. You
God.
are renovating a home. You probably, I mean, as we all live in New York City in these teeny tiny spaces, you must have like so much space you don't even know what to do with yourself now.
Yeah, I mean, it is, well, yeah, so much outdoor space. You're right. Like when you live at my apartment in the West Village was tiny. So everything, even just like a tiny front yard feels incredible. So yeah, so we actually this is the house. It's so crazy. There's so much work that needs to be done. I can take you to take another look.
Look at this porch.
Yeah, it's from 1905, but it is massively, island houses are really hard because of the construction. Mm-hmm. But especially in Bermuda, I'm going to try to do the flip. Wait, how do I do this? Oh, sorry, that's across the street. Okay, wait, how do I? Hold on. Sorry.
There you go. Perfect.
I have to walk that. But this is it. So it's 1905, almost like a Victorian style house. And
it's gorgeous.
Bermuda's famous for these white roofs, which you can see all in Bermuda. And that's because our roofs collect rainwater. So we actually drink water from the rain that's collected from the roof and then goes into this well. And then Bermuda is also very famous for these shutters that you're seeing. And obviously because it's so sunny, but they're famous for these shutters that come out. And some of our shutters are in worse shape because of hurricanes. So we need to replace all the shutters. Do so much work on the house. What?
They're a really pretty shade of blue.
Yeah, it's all light blue. Here I am and now walking back. But yeah, here I'm gonna try to flip it again without being creepy.
So when you restore, do you think you'll keep the same colors or do you think you'll change it?
Well, all the houses in Bermuda exactly are different colors. So it's kind of fun because so many people have pink houses here. I don't think my I don't think my fiance is going to go for the pink house, even though I've been trying.
And you love
But,
pink. So do you have a lot of
yeah.
work to do on the inside as well?
Oh my gosh, so much work. So this tile, which I love, and I'll show you on our porch, is original from 1905. And it's gorgeous, and it's so like contemporary in the feel. However, let me see if I can, sorry. However, it's cracking, you know? So we have to replace all of this. And it's so dirty from like, just like it's the crazy wind here. But yeah, so we have to replace all of it, which is such a huge project on this front porch. But I want to find someone to replicate the original tile design.
That's really nice.
So lots to do. I mean, the list, like if you're doing any kind of, you know, old house that's like over 100 years old, the list just like never stops.
I'm sure you have to do everything so lovingly, and I'm sure it's harder to source things because you want it to look original, so it's not a lot of new products. What's your vision when it comes to decorating?
Well, I mean, I'm like into the grand millennial stuff, you know, so, and which is awesome in Bermuda, because Bermuda in the 1950s and, you know, the 1960s, it was like such a heyday here. So there's actually amazing thrift stores here in estate sales. So like, I'll show you my table. I set you like a tiny little table just for, you know, that we're gonna have dinner on. But I got, you know, all of this stuff on the Facebook Marketplace, which I'm like stalking people in Bermuda, and I buy.
That's such a good idea.
And let me flip it. So I got this recently from Facebook Marketplace. It's just like this huge set of china, and it comes with like, I think there's like 100 pieces that I got for just $130. But I mean, this is just like the beginning of the treasure trove. And then we have these brown Jordan, you know, original brown Jordan chairs that are super heavy, that are from, you know, probably the 1960s. Some family bought them forever ago. But they're great for hurricanes because like they are extremely heavy and aren't going to blow away.
So how does this work with Facebook Marketplace? So you see something and then do you go pick it up, or does somebody drop it off, or how do you get it?
So I, you know, because like the resources are so limited in Bermuda as far as like shopping, and also like, you know, in order to get anything here, you have to put it on a container and get like, you know, pay duties and all this crazy stuff. I'm addicted to Facebook Marketplace or like these Facebook resale groups here, because you just like message, someone posts a photo of like outdoor furniture or old china or like an old couch that's fabulous, and then you just message them, you know, kind of like an eBay thing, and then they give you their address and you show up and pick it up. Yeah, so I mean, for island life, or for anyone who like might live in a place where you know, there might be a lot of, you know, like South Florida, a lot of estate sales, I would definitely recommend looking at Facebook Marketplace.
That's such a great tip.
You got to check it out in New York. I'm like sad that I didn't use it in New York, because I'm sure there's some interesting stuff on it.
There might be, but I always assume that stuff is going to be so expensive in New York City. So whenever I buy vintage or sort of antique, I always leave the city.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in New York City, I was addicted to thrifting. It was like the ultimate stress reliever. So I'd always go to Housing Works or the Opera Thrift, or, you know, Goodwill near Gramercy, not near Gramercy Park, near Washington Square Park. The Goodwill there is amazing. So, I mean, in Bermuda, it's like on another level, because all of these, you know, older people are, you know, moving on with their lives, and they have all of this, you know, stuff. They have to clear their house.
So you are now in Bermuda, and you have this incredible new hat line. They are, hold on, biodegradable palm tree leaves with ribbons. How did you start this?
Well, I met these awesome people in Texas that are that make these palm leaf hats, and they're, you know, they're just from palm leaves. And then I love ribbons. I love old fabric. I collect like textiles for, you know, for, oh, I'm going to do a dress, or I'm going to do all these things that like never end up happening. So then it just like hit me one day. I just made one for myself, and then I was like, oh, I'll use these for my bridesmaids. And then I decided to put it on Instagram, and then there was a lot of people DMing me about it. And then I was like, oh, I should make a site for this, thinking I would sell like 5. And I sold a lot more than 5, which has been amazing, but also like scary because you know, you have to like kick it into high gear and like get really organized and, you know, fulfill these orders.
So were you always like a brimmed hat wearer before you started your company?
Yeah, definitely. Like I love like Lola hats and, you know, just buying hats whenever I'm out shopping. The one thing with hats though is they're so expensive, and which is kind of like crazy. Like if you go to Bergdorf Goodman, you know, a hat is going to cost you like $350 or more, or a Net-a-Porter. So that's always like, I think the difficult part with hats is like, you know, how expensive they are when you're a consumer. So yeah, I'd love to like, you know, keep my prices like under 200 and a little more reasonable. But right now it's honestly, it's all an experiment. So
well, and people can customize, right? Because you kind of get to play around with the ribbons.
So yeah, so I have one here, which is kind of a bad example, but you know, this has been a really popular ribbon. And you know, I like to have it so it ties right here, but I think I'm like going to try to redesign it so that people can tie around their neck. But then also like if they just want to wrap the hat and not do like the bow peep tie. Some people are into the big bows, and then other people think that the big bows are, you know, way too much.
Well, I think that these hats are so in vogue because I grew up like worshiping the sun, and I would wear a sunblock, but I was never good about protecting my face. And then my dermatologist like 8 years ago totally terrified me. And she said, you need to be wearing SPF 50 every day and wearing a hat. So for almost like the past 10 years, from spring until fall, I am just in a massive hat every day, like looking for shade. And yeah, I don't know. It's
wait, that's awesome. Well, I'm so excited for you to have one. I mean, yeah, it's been interesting because our airport in Bermuda is closed. So like I've just been working remotely, but I'm really trying to get these shipped out, and I can't wait to get you one this summer because you need it.
Well, it's so exciting. I think that, you know, you've been able to make this career change. I mean, and you've made it look so seamless. Was it sort of difficult for you at all, or?
Oh my gosh, it's so difficult. I mean, I think like, you know, because of technology obviously moving so quickly, you know, you have to experiment, I think, with a lot of different ideas. And I knew that I wanted to have a small like company. I just didn't know what. Like for a while I was, you know, in the hat realm, I was thinking of doing like sunscreen. And then for, you know, I pursued all these different ideas. But I mean, I think you just have to experiment and see what sticks. But being a journalist, I'm sorry, I'm like ranting.
No,
I'm just nervous. I'm so awkward on these like Instagram live things. You know, being a journalist is really hard these days. Like you either have to become, they're becoming very few journalists out there, and the ones that are still working at magazines are amazing, but they're just, you know, the staffs are so small, and the journalists that are working currently at magazines, like God bless them, because they're working around the clock. They're working so hard. Like if you know an editor at any major magazine at Condé and Hearst, like they're working around the clock and like bending over backwards. And they make it look so glamorous because it is. Like there's a lot of perks, but you know, the pay is really small for the amount of work. And you kind of if you're gonna work at a magazine and you're gonna be a journalist, like you kind of have to do it like for the love of it, kind of like how a teacher is a teacher. They love it.
And that's how you were about magazines, though, your whole career. What was your first job in the magazine world?
So I was an intern at Vogue, and I was an intern at the New York Times. And I was an intern at like, you know, some local publications in Texas, like Paper City, which is awesome. And then I worked actually at Neiman Marcus corporate as a writer. And then I moved to New York and for a job at Veranda to be like an associate editor and then to be the web editor. So, and then the Hearst Design Group was formed while I was there. So it became like ELLE Decor, House Beautiful, and Veranda. So then everyone kind of started to work across all three. So that's how I was kind of in the right place at the right time.
Sure.
To get to be an editor at ELLE Decor, House Beautiful, and Veranda. But I still like, you know, not to play favorites, but I really I love Veranda. Veranda is so me. And, you know, when I got that job, I was working under Derek Caponegro and then Clint Smith. And just both of them were like brilliant. So it was just beyond.
Is interior design really kind of your passion in a way?
Well, I think like, you know, fashion's so fun, but interior design I think is really fun because I guess for me, because of like the antiques and like the thrifting, like I'm not into new furniture. Like, yes, new upholstery, like getting something reupholstered. And like, I like to see the new furniture collections, but where you can just thrift and antique so much more with home decor versus fashion's like a little more difficult.
Well, and I also think it makes the item so special because somebody walks into your house and, you know, they're like, oh, I love this couch. Where did you get it? And it has probably some whole prior life before you ever got it. It had some crazy story of living in somebody else's house. And now you're giving it a new life in a way.
Yeah, definitely. And I also think like, you know, not that I know, I mean, there's just so much to learn. Like there's so much to learn about fashion, you know, historically, but I think with design, and you know, art, there's like infinite amounts of things to learn. So I never really get bored because like, you know, there's the history of design is like, you know, it's going back, you know, centuries and centuries and centuries. So that's like what keeps me interested, I guess.
Well, you're going to have so much fun thrifting and looking through Facebook Marketplace and antique stores, furnishing this new house. What do you think the timeline is for it?
Oh my God, forever. It's never going to be done. I mean, it's never going to be done.
I the other day who's restoring a house from like 1800 maybe. He said 10 years is how long it's going to take her to restore her house.
Yeah, I would believe that. I mean, obviously you could just like bring in a whole like architecture team and they would, you know, plan it out and like, you know, stick to a tighter timeline. But I think like because we live on an island and resources are so scarce here, like, you know, we kind of have to do it ourselves. We don't do it ourselves. Like we definitely hire painters and, you know, we're not going to like lay our own tile. Like I'm not that crafty, but, but we have to like, you have to manage it more here, which is
it's like a full-time job.
It's going to take forever. It's never going to be done. But
so you eat dinner outside every night on that beautiful terrace of yours?
Well, yeah, when the weather's nice, we do because it is really nice. And one thing is, you know, we don't live waterfront, so we live like more in town. So, see, it's getting so windy. Like if you lived on the water in Bermuda, it would be quite windy most days. So we're a little more protected over here.
Well, your house is beautiful. Your hats are beautiful. I can't wait. So those will be shipping, I guess, once the airport's open.
Yeah. So I have people working on them right now in Texas, and then they're going to ship out like, the people that ordered first, they're getting a June delivery. And then the next batch of people who are ordering like right now are getting more July, August deliveries. So, but I mean, seriously, I admire every small business owner because it's hard to have a small business and a product line. Like, you know, it looks really fun and it is, but you know, the people that have these humongous collections, like that's incredible. I don't know how they do it.
But you know what? Even though you're early on, I feel like once you sort of get over this pandemic and work through the kinks of whatever you're having to deal with now, it's probably going to be smooth sailing from here on out with your business.
Yeah. I mean, you know, websites like Shopify and, you know, obviously, you know, with Instagram, click to shop, swipe up, like really, I feel like anyone can be an entrepreneur these days because there's so many, you know, easy to use resources on the internet.
I agree. Okay,
It would be so
question.
hard, yeah.
Last question before we go. All right, you've said you don't leave the house without lipstick. You're the queen of lipstick.
Oh,
what
yeah.
is your current color?
Oh my gosh. Well, I love, oh my gosh, you're going to kill me. What is her name? I love the British makeup artist.
Charlotte Tilbury?
Yes, Charlotte Tilbury. I'm like blanking right now.
That's so funny. When I was at Good Morning America, I was there as a producer. She came and did like these makeovers, and she put me in her chair for like 30 minutes.
What?
And I don't wear that much makeup, but I didn't even recognize myself afterwards. I mean, it was lovely, but she has the most amazing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think totally. Like something about her lipstick just stays on. I'm wearing it right now, but I love that Simply Cindy. And you know, because of COVID, I have not been wearing makeup. I just put makeup on for this call. But yeah, the Charlotte Tilbury, like for people who have really fair skin, I think 'cause she's a redhead, like the colors are really nice. You know, for
agree.
really pale people.
That's so funny. Well, okay, actually I lied. That wasn't my last question because you got me thinking. So what does a day like in quarantine look like for you now? Because you had
I was going to take you to my office and like through
take
the
me
house
to your office. Yes.
if you feel up to it.
Hope we didn't lose you.
Pause. What did I do?
Oh, there we go.
Gosh, I'm so bad with.
I'm so excited. I wasn't sure if you could see your office.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's seriously a mess in here, but. So I'm going up and I can show you this, like, this is how old the house is. Like these stairwell that goes up.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so it's, and you know, what's really interesting about Bermuda is the stone walls. Oh my gosh, it's scary. Oh, I look gross. I was looking out in the, so we just redid, like this is a cute little room I've been working on that we just had repainted. And, you know, the walls in Bermuda are like stone. It's like not sheetrock. So you can't like, that's why I haven't hung anything yet, because I have to call over like a special guy to like hang, you know, things on the wall. But I got this bed skirt thrifted and I got these beds in Bermuda at an estate sale.
Look at that headboard.
Which are Brunswick and Phil. I can never pronounce it correctly.
Oh my gosh, that's a great find.
Yeah, and I posted it to Instagram, and I can never say his name either, but Max Senstidine, he like DM'd me and said, "Oh my gosh, that's Brunswick. Yeah, I can't believe you got that like in Bermuda estate sale hunting." And I got this table at the U.S. consulate in Bermuda was, you know, doing a garage sale thing. And I got this.
I love that. Is it a glass top?
Yeah, it's a glass top. And it like comes off like a tray.
It's so pretty. It's so Bermuda.
Yeah, so I still need to do like a lamp and stuff here. I have these lamps that I have right here because I'm, you know, remodeling. But I need to get lampshades. So I'm currently.
Did you get those thrifting too?
Yes. Well, this I got at Pentrith and Hall in the UK, like 5 years ago, in London. But yeah, I got these all thrifting. These two I got in Bermuda at the U.S. consulate estate sale.
What like treasures. And I love that they are mismatched, but all floral, because I think that you could put them anywhere.
Yeah. So that's kind of fun. And then everything's like, you know, pretty crazy. This is where I keep this is where I keep some of my china in this crazy room. And then I have so many of these chairs ready to have a party. And
right,
this is kind of crazy.
To have a party, you can seat 12.
This is all my like estate sale silver and like silver plated junk that I find. And then all of my brass candlesticks that I find while thrifting.
This is like the ultimate party closet.
Yeah, I need to organize it a lot more. I mean, it's getting a little out of hand. And then this is my little tiny office.
Okay, I'm obsessed with your office because I've seen it on Instagram. You do such a great job curating your books and your old invitations that you saved. Can you just kind of walk us through some of it?
Yeah, I love, yeah, obviously I'm like a hoarder. I collect like all of my invitations, and you know, being an editor was so fun because you would get like all the press releases and stuff in the mail, and like, you know, the brand packaging, and it was like the prettiest stuff. So I saved all of it that I really liked. But like, how gorgeous is this? This is from the Swan Ball in Nashville. And then like, you know, the American Ballet or the New York City Ballet Gala invitation. And then I saw that Her Majesty is on here, Miss Charlotte. This is Isla Simpson, a UK illustrator that Charlotte from Her Majesty sent me for like a press thing she was doing.
Oh, how cool.
And I mean, I got this idea from Darcy Miller to like put all the colored pencils all in one, all these like little mint juleps.
Oh, that's such a great idea. And you've got a great candle.
Yeah. And then Will Kahn, one year for Christmas at Town and Country, Will Kahn, who now works at Moda, gave us all these red pencils that are so chic, and they have our names on them.
Oh, I love that. I haven't used a pencil in like a long time, now that I think about it.
And now it's getting quite like sunny in here, but yeah, you can see like out below. Oh, but yeah, this is where I like try to work and get away from my fiance. But I did like crazily bring a lot of my coffee table books to Bermuda, which probably was dumb.
No, it's not. I hoard coffee table books.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I kind of wish I would have brought them to Texas because it's so humid here. So like all the pages are starting to like, you know, kind of get crazy. All of my coffee table books are aging, which gives me about a hernia.
Okay, so I have like 1,000 coffee table books. I occasionally look through them, but they're really more just decorative. Do you look through yours for inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I first get them, I totally look through them. And I'm getting inspired by Mark D. Sykes, who's doing all those Instagram videos looking through his coffee table books. But, you know, once they're in a stack like 10 high, like I don't know how I'm going to ever access this cabinet of curiosities. I've got to take all the stuff down. So...
Is there paneling behind one of your doors, like really beautiful paneling?
Yeah, so it goes out into this, it goes out into this area out here. But I need to paint the tile and like get it fixed. It's really bad right now. So, but it's a terrace.
It is such an inspirational office though, because you're surrounded by all your favorite things. I mean, you've got artwork, I feel like you know that we've become old ladies when we save calligraphy.
Yeah, well, I mean, calligraphy, I always like felt like you couldn't throw it away. When someone gave you like a really beautiful,
I would say this.
Like such a pretty envelope. Like, why would you throw this away?
No, I wouldn't.
Like, and oh my gosh, this is like such a cute little menu that I got from a party that Rebecca Gardner was throwing, and I'm not going to throw that away. It's so cute.
And I noticed you have a little Inslee calendar.
Yeah, oh my gosh, this is so Inslee's selling these right now. It's so cute because she illustrates all the different months, and they're so pretty.
You know, small world moment. She did all of my wedding artwork.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, she's so talented. And then also a friend had Stephanie Fishwick do her save the date, and it looks like you maybe have something on your wall of inspiration from her too. So I love it.
Yeah, so beautiful. There's so many like talented calligraphers and like artists out there. I really, you know, it's like crazy, mind-blowing. And Instagram, you can find them.
You can find anything on Instagram. That's the beauty of the place.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Sarah, thank you so much for the peek of your house in progress. I love that guest room. You're going to have people now, your friends are going to see that you have a guest room, and they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know she had a guest room.
Well, it's very new, but yeah, totally. You're welcome to come. Anyone's welcome to come visit.
Maybe you shouldn't have said that. I'll be taking you up on it. But thank you so much for the peek into your house, and I can't wait to see it once it's done.
Yeah, and I want to hear, like, on the side, I want to hear all about what you were doing. So you have to.
I will. I'll tell you all about it. It was a crazy ride, but similar to you. You know, I was in media for 10 years and loved it for so long. I was at Good Morning America for the past 6 years as a producer, sort of traveling all over the country. And ultimately, I was just like, there's something next, and I want to figure out what that is. So I took a leap of faith, and I still had 2 years left on my contract, but I was ready to kind of take the next step in life, and moving into the real estate and design space is so rewarding for me. But we'll chat more to be continued.
Yeah, well, way to go, because this is the time to like reinvent yourself, especially with all this COVID craziness. Like, a lot of people have lost their jobs. Like, from losing your job, like you can come up with like a new idea, and not that you lost your job, but all these people that have,
Sure.
And come up with a new idea, launch a Shopify, or like start an Instagram account that's like, about some idea that you have, and kill it. So
I agree. I think people have a lot of time now to kind of recalibrate and think about what is important and what they kind of want their life to look like. So if there's a little silver lining out of this, maybe it's that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, good to talk.
You too,
Thanks
Sarah.
for having me.
Your house is beautiful. And can't wait for all those hats when they are ready.
Yeah, for sure. You'll get one this summer.
Bye, Sarah. Thank you.
Bye.